Good afternoon, how you doing? Obviously by the title, I'm back at the shelter. This is beautiful. It was super overcast this morning, cleared up. It's actually cooled down, not a ton, but the wind's pretty gnarly. Only got a couple hours to work on it today, so maybe it'll be a short video, but hey, at least I'm getting outside. Like I said, the reason for this location, look at that. You see the sun poking out there. This is our view from the shelter. There we go, it's still standing. No footprints, nobody's been sleeping in here. Hack down some more trees and get this shelter going. Maybe I'll start a fire. I brought a pot, some water. I'm gonna maybe make a coffee, I can get a fire going. Happy New Year to y'all, hope you're doing well. Less talking, more building a shelter. And that's it. Getting outside, enjoying life. Oh. Only 100 more pieces to go. Okay, I'm working on the side. You can see it sort of flares out a little bit, give me a little bit more room. And so this will sort of be a little bit of a curve right here. All these little pieces that I'm busting off of these main things, I'm just breaking them into twigs, and I'm gonna keep these as kindling. I'll make a pile over here. That way I'll have some wood ready to go when we start our bonfire. There you go. So this gives me, oh, maybe an extra 1.5 foot room at my feet here. So we'll see if that comes in handy. And I left a couple of the little notches on some of these bigger pieces in case I wanted to hang something up. They'll come in handy. But so far, this, look at that. Like, I'm trying to move this. This doesn't even budge. I've been keeping a lot of the little forks here, little Y, on a bunch of these pieces because I find it handy. You can wedge them in between each other and it kind of holds it a little more steady. I mean, it's a lean-to, whatever. I had to put my jacket back on. Stop moving too much, and the breeze has really picked up. So this is what we got going on here. I'm taking a break from the shelter for a second, but I'll give you a quick little few more pieces filling in the back there, and then the side. So you see what I mean by it sort of bows out a little bit, that you can see at the bottom. So it's almost triangular, kind of rounded. It's going to give me a little bit more room. This is a little windbreak. I'm going to have a little fire right now because I want to boil some water for some coffee. This is not permanent, but just to show you what I've got going on here, right? So I've just overlaid a bunch of logs, and then all of this bark, see here, I've used the bark. So these pieces, these are all loose pieces of the bark, right? Just to block the wind a little bit while I'm making this fire. But then these pieces are actually going to go on the back of the shelter to start to fill in some of those gaps, almost like wallpaper. Look at this pile of bark. So all of this bark is going to come in handy for the backside of the shelter, fill in more of those gaps. And I've got a whole bunch more of that. This is what we're looking like so far. Near the shelter, got a bit of my windbreak, some supplies, started cutting up some pieces, then I got a whole pile of twigs there. Now, let's see if I can get a fire going. That's the, maybe I'll pause for this one. I did bring my favorite fire starter with me. Come on, you know what it is. Dryer lint. If you don't have kindling or dryer lint like I always use, I'm going to show you a little trick, because you want to get down to the finest fibers that are dry and then go to bigger twigs, to bigger, to bigger, to bigger. You always want to start at the smallest little fiber tinder to get it going. I've already shaved off the bark on here, okay, and you see how I'm getting these little burrs, these little filings. The thing is, I found that when I try to do that with a hatchet or an axe, I end up going a little too much, and then I swipe it all off. So what I've done is I've stuck in my handy dandy hunting buck knife, pocket knife, and you can just pull it back and forth. Do you see these little fibers right there? That. And just rotate it and go back and forth. If you go too far, you're just going to end up knocking the whole thing off. See, look at there, look at that. That is small little tinder that should start your fire. Okay, so I've got my shavings here on that first twig that I was using. I just left it on there. And then these are tiny, tiny fibers that I've been breaking off from some of the other pieces. And you want to make sure that you have sufficient kindling. And then just progress in size of the pieces of your wood, because if you end up going through all of your kindling and you don't get it going, well, then you got to go through all that work again. It could be getting dark. Maybe you're starting to get cold. You got to make some food. So there you go. I've got, these are tiny, tiny shavings. And I've got some pieces that are a little bit bigger. And then another pile over here of medium-sized pieces. Little shavings that I had going. Oh, my finger. There we go. Those tiny little pieces are doing their thing. Oh, the breeze has helped. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to just slowly start to stack it, because I still want it to get some air. Sometimes this can be the trickiest process, and you just have to be patient. There we go. I can start adding a few of the bigger pieces. The windbreak seems to be helping. It's blowing around a little bit, but not too bad, all in all. So there's my windbreak with all the bark. I stacked these two up because I was getting a bit of a cross breeze coming on this way. So that's gonna help. Sort of boxed it in a little bit. This will become permanent. I just did that for today. And to show you, you know, just use the materials that you've got. I just cross stacked them, use the bark, and it's done a pretty good job. branches, but some of these sticks just straight across. Makes a nice little seat for that. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted this bed of coals. That'll be hot enough to boil some water. There we go. This windbreak is working pretty good. Woo. Oh yeah, that's ready. There we go. I already got my mix in there. And there we go. The rest we're gonna put on that. I'll dump the rest of my water bottle on there. Whew. It's getting chilly. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Probably a short one. I didn't have too much time to come out today. It's starting to come along. Started to get the end a little bit. Added some more pieces to the backside. Got this windbreak done. I'm gonna leave this one here for now until I get more materials to make it a little more permanent. Got my fire together. Keep that in mind when you're building a fire. Get your little tinder and stuff. Couple little tricks in there that I learned from other people, so I'm passing it on to you. Hope that helps. That's it. It's chilly. So let's do this. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's good. All right, time to go. Just to give you an idea of the size, plenty of room for me to stretch out here. Put down a sleeping pad, my sleeping bag. I'll be sheltered. Love it. How's my hair?